It was under 3 seconds for sure. We're still debating that between 1.5 and 2 seconds.
Round number one, there's that fast start. That might be it. And that is the...
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Latinx en el Mundo. I am your host, Isaac Meisner, and I'm thrilled to be here once again with everyone, and especially because today we have a very special guest. I'm talking about Ulyses the Monster Diaz. Ulyses has a world record. We're gonna dive into that a little bit. But Ulyses, first of all, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for having me, Isaac. I appreciate you guys.
It's my pleasure. So, like I said, you have a world record with the fastest knockout with bare knuckle. And how many seconds? Please tell people how many seconds.
It was under 3 seconds for sure. We're still debating that between 1.5 and 2 seconds.
That's incredible. We're definitely gonna leave the link down below so you guys can check that out. But that just shows you his strength, his discipline, because it's a world record, literally. So we're so proud of you. We're so happy that we have that representation, because in our community we need to show off our skills, you know. So I definitely want to congratulate you on that. And going back, okay, so let's start. I'm super impressed with your life story because you're from Miami. The 305 is in the house. With Cuban descent. So talk to me about what it was like growing up in Miami.
Man, it was awesome growing up in Miami. You know, it's a beautiful city, beautiful people, beautiful weather. It's great. You know, it has its ups and downs like anywhere else you live, but I've made the most of it, and here I am today, man. It's been an amazing ride.
Yes, no, I mean, I was lucky to live in Miami for 6 months, and you know, I'm telling you, Cuban food is the best. Shout out to Versalles, because they have the bombest food out there. And also, some people might be surprised with this, but you're actually friends with Pitbull, and you guys, again, something that I admire is that you guys turn your life around. A question that we have in this show every time with each of our guests is, what would you be doing today if you weren't doing your profession? You're a great example of it's never too late. So talk to us about this transition and how did you fall in love with MMA and boxing and all that stuff?
You know what? I've always been in love with the sport of fighting, whether it was boxing, MMA, bare knuckle. I've always loved this since I was a kid. I was always interested in it, and you know, if it wasn't for this, I don't know what I would be doing. You know, I always say that fighting saved my life, and I think it truly did. It took me out of a lot of trouble, and actually, growing up, fighting got me into a lot of trouble. I went through a lot of different schools. I got kicked out of school. I ended up I went to prison as a young adult for fighting on the street. And now fighting gets me paid and gives me notoriety. So it's an amazing, you know, turnaround, but being able to do the same thing in the right way.
Exactly. I think, you know, like you said, you turn it around, but you're still doing something that you're passionate about. You're basically turning it into a career that is very prolific. And going back a little bit, so you had that stance in prison. And now we hear celebrities like Kim Kardashian and justice reform. So please tell us about the importance, especially for people that stream our show outside of the US. Why is it important to have all this activism and second chances? Because it's hard to get a job sometimes where you have a record.
Well, yeah, definitely. It's very important, you know, because people in there, they don't have we're their voices. You know what I mean? People on the outside are the voices for the people that are inside. You know, they're hard to hear, and a lot of times they don't get heard. So we have to step up for them, you know. And I have a lot of close people, a lot of people that are close to me that are in there, that have been in there for many years. And I'm actually, you know, active on that. I'm you know, there's people I go visit, and there's people that I'm actively trying to get out now. You know, so it's very important for us to step up for them and be their voice.
Yes, definitely. You know, we just need more allies, you know, like any movement, we need allies. So I admire you for that, because it takes guts, you know, especially when you're a public figure, when people look up to you. But if you can turn that around again and be that example, I think it gives a lot of people hope. Almost a year ago, we had the Superbowl, and through Pitbull is my understanding that you were able to be in a commercial with none other than J-Lo. So talk to me about how was this experience, which I'm sure was magnificent, and would you be interested in being more active in maybe some acting roles or anything like that, you know, maybe pursuing a career like other celebrities that have, again, this new life, like John Cena or The Rock?
I would definitely like to pursue something in acting, in movies when I stop fighting. 100%, I would love to do that. How that happened with Pitbull was, Pitbull is my childhood friend. He's a brother to me. I've known him since I was 11 years old. Tomorrow's his birthday, by, you know, coincidence. And so he calls me last year, the day before they're filming the commercial, and tells me that he's gonna pick me up in the morning and that we're gonna go film the Super Bowl commercial. So he took me with him, and I was able to be a part of that. It was amazing with J-Lo. Michael Bay directed it, and a million other stars. And it was just amazing to be in that moment, man, and be that character that got to throw the pineapple.
It's insane, right? Like how one connection can lead you into other projects, and you get more notoriety. And like you said, eventually when you retire, because we have a few athletes on the show this week, and something that everyone agreed on is when you're a high-level performer, whether it's a singer, whether it's an athlete, you're also, you have that ese desgaste in your voice or in your muscles. So eventually you have to, retire and pursue other things. So it's super exciting. We're definitely gonna be, checking you out. And please let everyone know where they can follow you on your social media, because like you said, your childhood friend Pitbull, you have pictures from way back then and many, many, many things. So please share with us your social media.
Yeah, my social media, I only use Instagram. I have Uly, ULY_Monster. I also have my two companies, which is Monster Brand Global, and I have Don't Blink Podcast. So anybody want to check me out, I'm on either three of those on Instagram. And you can find me doing all types of things and hanging out with all types of people, man. It's an amazing life, thank God.
Yes, super exciting. What would you say would be the biggest misconception of bare knuckle fights on a professional level?
It's like everything else. Like when UFC first started, a lot of people thought it was like very savage, and it was this and it was that, and everybody talked it down. And look where they're at now. When UFC came out, everybody used to talk bad about it and all this and that and the other, and that's what's happening with bare knuckle now. But look at UFC now. They're over 20 years in business, and they're doing great. And I see that's where bare knuckle's headed. Bare knuckle's the fastest rising combat sports, when it comes to business, and they have an amazing promotion going on. And like everything else, people, if they don't know about it, they don't like it at the beginning. But then you'll get used to it, and everything will get better as time goes.
Right. And there's a lot of controversy with certain sports that are not included in the Olympics. Boxing is, and I know you dive into boxing a little bit, but what would you say would be the biggest argument or the most valid argument into, because you're using your body, you're exercising, and your regimen is as strict as any other athlete in any other sport. So what's your take on that?
Jiu-jitsu, I think, should, because judo is in it, wrestling is in it. That was a dream of mine as a kid, was to be in the Olympics, to win a gold medal, I never got that chance. So now kids coming up, my kids and many other kids around the world are going to have that opportunity through MMA or through jiu-jitsu, which is amazing. That's a blessing.
Yeah, well, we hope so, because, definitely there's the audience out there, right? And at the end of the day, sports is also a business, and it is prolific. I mean, there's definitely an audience out there, so we're hopeful. You can only hope. Talk to me about what is a regular day for you of training and getting ready, because a lot of times, especially in UFC or boxing, MMA, we hear a lot. The fight or the biggest challenge is not the actual fight; it's getting ready, training every single day. So talk to me about how is it like in your life on your daily life.
Yeah, the biggest challenge is cutting weight, losing weight for a fight. I wake up every day about 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning. I get up, I get ready, get my stuff together, and I go and I do strength and conditioning in the morning. Shout out to my coach, Raul Sosa. And we do that for about an hour and a half. I get back home around 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's a bowl of oatmeal. And really, if it's leading up to a fight like it is now, I really try not to leave my house. I don't do too many interviews when it's coming up to the fight, so this is a special one. I wanted to do. I usually lay home, and at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I start my boxing training with my coach. Shout out to Commander Zero, Orlando Boyan. He just made the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
He comes to my house. During COVID, I built a whole gym in my backyard. I have a ring. I have everything back there. So and I train boxing for another hour and a half. So I get two, and then in between that, either at nighttime or in between that, I go for a run. I just did a 3-mile run right now, and I came back home about 20 minutes ago. So yeah, it's grueling, man. You gotta have to want this. And in between all that, you have to eat right. You have to drink a lot of water, and you have to get your rest. And you have to deal with real life. I have kids. I have a whole life going on. So You gotta deal with all that. So I take my hat off to all the fighters, to everybody. It's not even fighters. You know what I mean? We all have a stressful life, but we deal with it and we go forward.
Again, thank you so much for being here because, like you said, you don't do many interviews, especially you don't want things getting into your head near a fight. So please tell everyone about your upcoming fight, and also what do you prefer? Because last year a lot of events in different sports and different businesses, they don't have an audience. So what is the panorama like this year?
Well, I fought in February, which was in front of the crowd before COVID. It was amazing, and now I just fought in November, and they had a crowd there too, and it was amazing. I haven't fought in front of no crowd, so I'm not sure how I would feel about that. But my next fight is February 5th in Tampa, Florida. It's for bare knuckle. It's going to be a huge fight. It's a Superbowl weekend. It's going to be a huge card, loaded with stars, great fights. I got a very skilled and very a veteran in the fight game. And I look forward to fighting him, and I really can't wait, man. It's going to be, I'm super excited for this fight coming up.
Ulises, muchas gracias. We wish you the best of luck. We're definitely going to be rooting for you. We're going to be streaming the fight. So thank you again for being here. Anything you want to say to all of your followers before we head back?
Man, hey, listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for having me today. Latinx, the monster, checking out.